Hi, my name is Adrian and I am a WordPress developer. Let me say that again. I am a WordPress developer. I develop custom WordPress themes and plugins, integrate third-party APIs, and customize WordPress plugins and themes. I build complex websites, web applications, and platforms on WordPress. Things like complex e-commerce stores, membership websites, industry directories, e-learning platforms, and many other things that you can build using page builders, free or paid plugins. If you need such services or you want to ask me something, feel free to contact me here or by going to adrianwp.com and click on the schedule a call button. Now, let's talk about my experience. I started to learn how to build websites on WordPress in 2009. After a few months, I realized that I need to learn some CSS and HTML if I want to build a nice website. In 2009, there were no page builders. You had to know how to code. So I started to learn some CSS. In 2009, I was in college where I studied music, not computer science, so my learning process was really slow. After I finished college, I wanted to build guitars full time and I started to learn how to build guitars. I bought myself some hand tools, some wood, some books, and started my journey as a luthier. This was my first reality check. Learning a skill takes time and dedication to master. My first guitar was a disaster. It looked like a bad potato with a neck and strings. But I was so proud of myself for being able to build that in the first place. That was 2012, and during that time, I got married and I got a part-time job as a music professor for a non-profit organization. I was teaching music a couple of days a week to children from a state foster care facility. In 2013, my teaching job ended and I had to get another job to support my family. I got a job in a warehouse handling the incoming and outgoing orders. I finished my first guitar and started to beef up my WordPress skills since I wanted to get a job in this field. I got my first WordPress job in October of 2013. A friend of my wife needed someone to build a couple of websites for his business and deal with some customer service. At this job, I learned a lot of CSS and HTML, and I started to play around with jQuery and PHP. Also, I found out about Fiverr and started promoting some WordPress services, and I managed to get 2 gigs. I built 2 WordPress websites for $5 each, talking about developers making big bucks. In 2014, I got another job for a different company where I developed my first fully custom website. It was an e-commerce website that was selling farm-related machinery. I also did some marketing for them since this was not only a development position. I learned how to work with PHP and jQuery at this company since I had to develop custom theme with custom post types and build sliders and many more. I quit this job a year later because I didn't do much development and my former employer wanted me to focus on something else. Plus, I finished my second guitar and I had my hands full with my third one, which someone commissioned, and I wanted to deliver it as soon as possible. In mid-2015, after I finished my third guitar, I wanted to get back into WordPress development. I failed to find a job locally and I signed up on Upwork. Soon after I signed up, I landed my first client, a marketing agency from Australia for whom I worked for about 10 months. At this agency, I developed a lot of websites and did a lot of maintenance work. I developed everything from one-page websites to e-commerce stores. In late 2015, I've won the lottery. The Visa lottery, and I've got a green card. I've got 3 more guitars ordered that I finished in the second quarter of 2016 as I continued to work for the Australian agency. In 2016, me, my wife, and my son moved to the US. I continued my freelance journey on Upwork, where I took some jobs and worked with some US-based clients. In 2017, I got a full-time job as a WordPress developer for a company called Voice Media Group. I worked for them for about a year. Here, I started to learn more about PHP and how to work with databases and APIs. After a few months of developing websites using Visual Composer, I took over developing most of their custom WordPress work, themes and plugins customizations, and API integrations. In 2018, I got recruited by IBM. Yep, the one with a B between the I and M. They hired me to take over as lead developer for one of their biggest WordPress projects. It was a e-learning platform that was meant for students from Africa and the Middle East. It took me and a team of other 10 developers about 6 months to develop this platform. After a year, the management decided that we need to redesign and re-architect the whole thing, and we built the platform on Node and React. So I learned React and Node. It was overall a good experience working for IBM. I got to learn new programming languages, dial in my PHP and JavaScript skills, and learn a few more soft skills. In October of 2020, I decided to leave IBM and go on my own path. You see, I always wanted to be independent, and I realized that I want to do this now rather than later. My journey as a WordPress developer is my journey and is different than everybody else's. I don't think I'm special by any means, just a bit stubborn and persistent. The success that I achieved so far was a combination of those with hard work and help from God. So that's my story, and I hope it helped.